Assalamu alaikum, King.
Islam.
It's been months.
Yeah.
I've been feeling smoke too.
Man. need some therapy.
Exactly. We need the outflow of all of the work that we have been doing and generating. This is how we recalibrate and rebalance out the universe.
Yes, sir.
This is our therapy. It's also our ministry. It's our church. It's our mosque. It is our way of connecting and channeling the inner turmoil that we have to go through to build the kingdom of heaven. So the longer we postpone these podcasts, the more
Build up.
Anxiety, stress we feel.
Without a doubt.
And for me, it's been real. It's been real, man. It's been especially this past month post our trip to Sacramento.
Okay.
Where the thing about that trip, we could talk more about it later after we pray. But the thing about us going up there and really showing the world that we can exist in nation time, but also in the world time, and also show the world that, hey, it is possible to coexist and channel resources from one to the other and still maintain our own sovereignty, integrity, and nationhood.
Yeah.
That's not something that Satan's going to just overlook.
No. Not at all.
At all. So ever since we went, was that 3 weeks ago? I don't even remember.
It was about that.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Ever since that, Satan's been like, you think you're just gonna do that for free on my planet? I'm gonna do my best to kill you and take everything from you. And the only reason I'm still alive and walking is still have my house intact, children healthy, because Allah is the greatest. But Allah is also like, hey, bro, new levels, new devils, bro.
Man, sacrifices is necessary.
Absolutely.
You gotta have that.
Absolutely necessary. Let's open up in prayer.
Yes, sir.
Let me continue on with that line. But in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, Bismillah, Rahman Rahim. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the most merciful, and master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we serve. Thee alone do we beseech for divine aid. Guide us on the right path, the path upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not upon whom thy wrath has been brought down, nor upon those who go astray. Amin.
Amin.
So sacrifice is required, and it's also inevitable and can't be avoided.
At all.
And what I'm realizing, knowing that, is the temptation is to not take those leaps, to be like, oh, I don't know if we should go up to Sacramento for the task force meeting and put Nelson in his chair because I don't want to face the smoke, right?
No, you can't be afraid of it.
You can't be afraid of it.
Fear no one but Allah.
You can't be afraid of it. You just have to know that every action, there's a reaction. But Allah is the greatest.
I mean, and if you desire growth, and if you desire to build upon, what you've built as a foundation, you got to be willing to take on these little small battles.
Yeah,
you can't win the war without beating, the small battles.
That's right. You can't.
You avoiding the battles. That's what you ask for.
Yeah. And it's it doesn't, knowing that it's coming doesn't make it any easier to deal with. You still got to deal with the fight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still like, oh man, I got this to handle now. This has happened now. Oh man.
But that's why you stay focused on the goals. Like the focusing on the path of the goals is the inspiration you need to keep going.
Absolutely.
Because if you only stay in the moment, it becomes a lot. You got to be able to juggle the future, the past and the present. All of those are important. The past informs what you've learned. The future informs what you plan, and then the present informs what you got to get done now, what you got to do. That's
right.
They're all necessary.
And then you have the baggage of the past, the potential, the fruits that compresses you in the now. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's heavy.
Yeah.
But heavy is the head that wears a crown.
Yep.
And we talk about being kings and rulers. It's like, what, you think that's easy work?
Building the kingdom.
What, you think that's easy work, bro?
I don't know.
All that responsibility, and at the same time dealing with your own black man issues that we all got, and dealing with the black people issues of a nation.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Everybody got their own traumas.
Everybody got their own, and everyone's got the world of trauma, bro. And we just see it in our mind. We all know of the traumas and within our own close circle. And it's like that's an old universe in and of itself, having to navigate that, And then it's like, oh man, a whole nation of people.
Yeah.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Nations, honestly.
Lord have mercy.
They haven't all committed to the nation. Like,
no, bro.
There's separate nations out there.
Yeah, so there's separateness and then trauma on top of that.
Trauma on top of trauma.
So it's like, oh man, we signed up for the work. Oh my God, we signed up for the work.
I laugh every time I think about the poor righteous teachers that we agreed to be. And when they specify, they don't mean poor by meaning broke. So even when you get money, these problems don't go away.
Oh my God.
You still poor righteous teacher, just with money now. Because the poor that they're talking about is, don't nobody want your job.
Nobody.
Ain't nobody envious of what you saying you want to do.
No. You poor son of a... That's what poor is like. You poor
From
bastard.
the position of actually being poor and trying to do it, people are like, nah, that's not possible. Yeah. Once you get money, then it's like, oh, it's possible, so it's all on you. You got to be able to be at peace with yourself to understand what your lane is, and work your lane.
Absolutely.
Because if you try to work all the lanes, you ain't gonna make it.
Ain't gonna make it, bro. And the mission, we're born into a mission that's already next to impossible. And then you factor in that the devil's gonna fight you.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always I always fail to calculate. Like, it's not going to be a straight shot to the kingdom.
It's better to fail to calculate.
Yeah, no,
you can't fathom the depths of Satan.
No, you can't, bro.
And you be out here thinking he coming from the right and he's behind you. So don't calculate it.
No, you can't. You can't.
Just work and then fight him as he comes.
Absolutely.
Stay malleable.
No facts, and he never comes in a way you perceive. That's
exactly. That's what the depths of Satan means.
That's what it for real. He comes at you like the timing.
Yeah.
Is always like, oh.
But you know what? One thing that you can do, and this is what I do. I always recognize that he's gonna come when I feel secure. So when I feel like I got something figured out, it's like, hold up, calm down.
Yep.
Calm down.
Yeah.
All praises due to Allah.
All praises due to Allah, bro.
Because I know the devil's around here somewhere.
Man, yeah, all praises due to Allah. And that's like, I'm going back to our first episode. It's like, oh man, don't get it messed up. All praises due to Allah, because he's coming.
Yeah.
He is coming. He is here. He is around the corner. He is always lurking. And I'm just starting to feel like how strategic he is with every one of us. He has a strategy for every
He wants to convert us to demonism.
That's right.
He wants to convert us to his religion.
Facts, bro.
I laugh because I think about like the world. The only real difference between a demon and a god, right, is the fact that not the God, mind you, the creator of the heavens and the earth, he knows who he is. He's confident in that. Yeah. But the difference between a god and a demon is a god recognizes that there's a source. He does what he does and he knows that he's creating, but he recognizes that there's a power greater than him. When you get to a point where you don't recognize that there's a power greater than you, you stepping into demon territory.
Yep.
When you start getting to the point where you like, look what I did.
Yeah.
I did this by myself. I ain't need nobody. Ain't nobody. Oh, okay.
That's it.
Then you a demon.
That's demon.
You on demon time. And the farther you go into that thought, the bigger of a demon you become.
Absolutely.
And then if you start getting followers, now you a devil.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And this demonology, it comes in, witchcraft is one form of that. It's just like you're taking the ability to do godlike manipulation of material universe into
which
your
he
own
told you to do.
You can, which you can't do. Very clear. You can do magic, quote unquote magical things in physical reality.
Yeah.
But to do that and think that there's no one above you or not give all praise due to Allah, then it's like, then you're a demon. Now you're a demon.
Yeah.
And the people that do take that path, I very rarely see people who are able to play that game and also have the psychology of all praise due to Allah. Most of the time it's like, they get so caught up in what their own their own godlyhood in that, like you said,
Because
that's
imagine,
demonology.
it is very difficult to put in all this work and then give all the credit to somebody who you didn't physically see there
No, for
helping you
real.
do the work.
No, for real.
But understanding that, you know, what allows you to keep going, what allows you to wake up every day and breathe, what allows you to like have the energy to actually do it, what allows you to give you the creative genius to make things work. Like,
Yeah.
that's a source.
Yeah.
This thing isn't designed by happenstance. This, even what you're doing isn't perchance. It's designed. This is your destiny.
Yeah, man.
And who? I mean, once you recognize that there has to be, you know, a creator because of how specifically perfect all of these things fall into place. You have to pay homage to that.
You have to, bro.
You know, you can't say that there's a God and only pay homage sometimes. Like, you just gotta stay on the idea that somebody else is guiding this, and then that helps you fight the demons.
Yes.
That helps you fight everything. Like, that helps you continue.
Absolutely. And I'm realizing the energies, the demons that surround us as we're on this work, they have the ability to, what I'm really starting to feel is they, without keeping Allah in mind and in constant prayers, like they come into your mind and affect your thinking, and they start whispering in you in your own voice.
Yeah.
That is the depths. One of the many depths of Satan is like, he's on you and he sounds like you. And really coming to grips with that is like, I have to, this past couple weeks, I had to been like, this talking I hear in my head, which I call thoughts, I really have to be, where are those coming from?
Who's inspiring you? Because it's either God or the devil.
For real.
They both trying to get to you. They both trying to holler at you. Like,
That's real. No, all the time.
yeah.
So that's what I've really been sitting with. It's like, oh man, like how much of Satan have I allowed to manifest into my thinking and actions, even on this path, on the poor righteous teacher path, the nation path. It's like
one way, and I can't say that this works for everything, but it's worked for everything so far, that I've been able to differentiate between the two is, and I heard it from a Christian, but it's been so helpful to me.
Yeah.
Is this thought sponsored in fear, or is this thought sponsored in love? And if you figure that this thought is sponsored in love of self, love of your people, love of, you know, something greater than yourselves, love of God, then this is probably not sponsored by the devil. But if it's sponsored in fear, it's taking you in the wrong direction.
And then you're basing your actions based on those fear, and all of a sudden you're playing Satan's game.
Yeah.
Man, it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. And Allah's been showing me, it's like, hey, bro, I had a dream specifically about, I was on a sinking ship with my children. And there's like messages on the boat that said, it's just direct warnings to me saying, stop drawing up hypothetical fantasies in your mind and acting as if they are true. Assumptions.
Yeah.
The what ifs. Oh, this person's probably whoop de whoop. So you run away with that. You're living in this hypothetical scenario.
Yeah. And they haven't agreed to that.
They have no idea about it because it's literally all you.
Yeah.
And you create these elaborate fantasies in my mind about what other niggas is doing. You know what I'm saying? People that I care about, people that I don't. And then I'm basing decisions how I feel about them in my physical reality life.
And it's dangerous to do that in a good way or a bad way.
It's very dangerous to do that. So Allah had to really be like, yo, you want to sink in ship with this thinking, bro.
Yeah.
Get right. But I do realize that having what this podcast is, and Allah has shown me, it's how we take all of that demonic energy that surrounds us and the God energy that's always powering us. We come here, we alchemize it, and we put it on wax, and we create, and then we restart.
Yeah. I mean,
so, and
it helps us stay on our deen.
Stay on our deen, and you realize, and the word is Allah. The God is the word, and the word is God. And
I was watching a podcast with Jordan Peterson, and he was talking about how God said, I am the truth, I am the way, I am the word. And it's like, we don't live in a universe that, you know, everything started with the concept of God.
Yeah.
It started with the word of God. God was a wordsmith, you know. He said, be, and it is.
It's real.
To create his universe, you know. It makes me think, like, how important words are and how, important that we don't cast spells on us is. We don't, how important it is that we don't, you know, allow the negativity to govern our actions, because it exists. We know that. And it's a sinking pit and it will take you down. But if we don't allow it to govern our actions, if we understand that it exists and we take those dreams, those thoughts, and we recognize that's the negative aspect of it, this is the positive, that's how we stay on the straight path.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in the swirl of the negativity because it exists. And everybody around you got their own perceptions of reality.
Facts.
They going through their thing too.
Yeah.
Just because they love you and you love them don't mean that they got, they've figured things out.
Yeah.
They got their issues, their hangups, and all the things that they might be warning you about might not be true.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they are someone who loves you don't mean that their thoughts are sponsored in love. Some of their thoughts are sponsored in fear. And if you let that get into your perception of reality, it will take over.
That's right. And especially right now when people are likening to fear-based thinking based on what's going on in the world.
People are more fearful now than they've ever been.
Very fearful. Yeah. And the thing that we have is the knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah.
And that is our salvation.
Yeah.
And even just being surrounded by people who don't have that knowledge, I get, it's very easy to get caught up in the psychology of fear.
Yeah.
You just you get scatterminded and it's hard to focus and you find yourself anxious. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, who am I surrounded by? I'm surrounded by people who are not believers.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect. That's just what it is. And I'm like, man, all praise is due to Allah.
I mean, we all are though. This is the world of the non-believers. Like, we haven't created heaven yet.
No, sir.
So,
we have not.
As long as we are living in hell, we got to fight demons.
Absolutely. And that's what Allah is showing me is like, hey, man, this is hell. This is hell. Yeah. And it's the real fight doesn't begin until you're exhausted. Because this recent, we'll call it the flare up in the global temperament, it happened, and it was like a month ago, a little over a month, but it's like we had it was like over a year ago when we started doing this podcast and having beer matadors and taunting the bull of Satan, right? So we've been on it, but then it's like we've been putting in work, and then now it's like a year later we're like, oh man, we're tired now. And then Satan's like, hey, your boy's here.
Bro, I've been thinking about this concept of tired.
Yeah.
This concept of like me time. That doesn't exist as a black man in America.
What? Me time?
Me time.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Me time is a joke.
Yeah.
It's something that like
it's cute.
It's cute.
It's cute, man.
It's like I took off some time from my job to like be like, I need to break because I'm in pain and like this job is killing me. Like, okay. That don't mean that I'm gonna get some time off. Like it's harder being at home. It's more work to here than it needs to be at my job.
I understand.
And the pay ain't as good.
Yeah. No, for real. No, man. It's like you're not getting paid.
No. It's like this is not.
It costs you.
It ain't easy.
It's not easy, bro.
They say do for self ain't easy. It's twice as hard as doing it, getting a job.
There's no easy way out as a black man, bro. Yeah. There's none.
But I take solace in being able to have these kind of conversations and listen to the conversations of other people who are in similar situations. One thing I heard 19 Keys was talking about, he was like, everything that you're living through right now is based on the plans that you made 10 years ago and the failure to plan 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And everything that's going to be for that future version of yourself are based on the plans you're making today. So 10 years from now.
That's real, bro.
And I was just like,
that's game. No,
that's game. It's game. Like, I gotta start planning 10 years from now.
That's
right?
real.
And recognize that my failures to plan 10 years ago are the reason why I'm in all of the situations I'm in right now.
I understand.
That's a poignant point.
I understand, but like, to speak some light into the mic, it's we're doing a really good job of like, showing people we got big things coming.
No, for sure. For sure.
And we are already in like the first leg of like, oh wow, no, we're in the kingdom we created. Like it's the we're in the blueprints,
Yeah.
but Satan still is still on his throne in his kingdom, and he still has some time left. And what with people here's what I see. Like I see like a little with people like Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, people who are really like encouraging healthy lifestyles within Caucasian Roman community. And I'm like, okay, no, maybe this is
Judeo-Christian
community. There we go. And that's really what Jordan Peterson about. He's like, he's really about the West. He's pro-West. Based on what I hear about him talk about Islam, he's kind of like, he's not. I haven't heard him say too favorable things about Islam.
He understands it though.
Yeah.
He's studied it enough to understand it. It's just not his philosophy.
It's not his philosophy, and he's very much like Judeo-Christian. No, very Christian. Like very much speaks like a good patriarch of Judeo-Christian society.
I think him more than most understand that if it fails, there is nothing
For them. That's real. Because it is. The church is the hallmark of Roman society, bro. Yeah. Their week starts at church.
Yeah.
Sunday. The church keeps the time. Church is the reason why churches are castles, because of the fortresses of the Roman Empire.
Church is their God.
Absolutely.
That's the remnants of their God is their belief system.
No, for real.
It's not an actual God because there is only one God.
Yeah.
So they submit to church.
No, for real. Church and the likenesses of white Jesus, who they call as God therein, which is really also their God, the white patriarchal male authority.
Yeah, white supremacy.
White supremacy. Yeah. And that's not even disrespectful. That's like really what it is. White supremacy is the idea that the white man is God and knows better for you, so shut up and listen.
I mean, that's the only way that they can be kings.
And they are kings in the Roman Empire.
And when I say they, I don't mean like that. That's when I say the kings, I mean like that's the only way that they can create a kingdom to pass down to their children.
Yes.
As long as they're perpetuating this idea to everyone else, their future stands a chance to exist.
Facts. Well, because they are not submitting to anything that's not white. It's not in their nature to do that. No. It's not in their nature. So they created a whole elaborate fantasy world where the white man is God, and you do what he says, and everything will be okay.
Respectfully, like, okay, that's how you feel.
That is their world. That is the West, and that's also the world that Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson embody. And I see it for what it is, and I can respect the players in that game, right? And the Pope Francis, Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, all of the
greatest minds of their philosophical concepts.
Yeah, and I see and I do personally like Joe Rogan. Very clear. Yeah. I like Joe Rogan. I like Jordan Peterson too. He got bars. No, Jordan Peterson got bars. He's very white, and I don't have a problem with that. And he's not. I like the fact that they both speak unapologetically. They're just like, I'm a man. This is how I feel. This is what I believe to be right. And I'm not going to apologize for being white, being a man.
I actually appreciate that.
I really do appreciate it. But I think my point is, what I do see like them, that archetype and that them offering some lifeblood to men of Judeo-Christian society to stand up and like, hey, let's do this last hurrah of the West, Yeah. And I see it giving them like a new reason to live, a new existence.
Yeah, because they need it.
They need it.
Yeah.
They need it because as of right now, we're coming into our reign and our rule, and in the meantime, they still on top running things. So I'm going to read some of the Quran called the Romans, Surah 30.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it. I want to just get your take on, like, when I read it, what you think is coming here. So, chapter 30, the Romans, section 1, a great prophecy. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I, Allah, am the best knower. The Romans are vanquished in a near land, and they, after their defeat, will gain victory. Within 9 years, Allah's is the command before and after, and on that day the believers will rejoice. In Allah's help, He helps whom He pleases, and He is the mighty, the merciful.
What chapter is that?
Chapter 30. It's called the Romans.
The Romans.
The Romans.
Need to read that again.
Yeah. So when I read that, and it says the great prophecy, and it says that the Romans have been vanquished, but in their near land they will gain victory. So I'm like, okay, is this near land? They're getting victory, their last hurrah. You look at our Supreme Court justices, the majority of them are, I think, Catholic now. Biden's a Catholic. Pope Francis is a Catholic.
Yeah,
So
that's the Roman Empire.
It's the
for
Roman.
sure.
It's the resurgence of the Roman Empire manifest. That's what it is.
And who was right there with the Roman Empire? It was the people who took out Jesus.
Exactly. The synagogue of Satan.
Yeah.
Right. And you got, and we had this conversation. You got, when it talked to the West, the Roman Empire, Rome is the body. Israel is the brain. But based on what we are taught, Israel is white people.
Let's call them those who cannot be mentioned.
Those who might not be named.
Yeah.
But Israel is the brain, Rome is the body. And if you liken it to, biblical times where, Jesus is the harbinger of truth, that's us.
Yeah.
And it is the Jews that brought the attention to the Roman authority, the army, the police, that, hey, we got to do something about this Jesus guy. About these black men talking about black man being God and the messenger and all that. We got to do something about that. That's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And we're in that time. We're in the prophetic times of that.
They were given 6,000 years to rule.
Yeah.
And their 6,000 years ended when the master came, when Master Prophet Muhammad came. 1930?
Their time ended officially in 1914, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
I believe, and then they were given an extension of time. But their time is over now. 6,000 years is over. And the only reason they're still running things is because we haven't built the throne yet.
Yeah.
We're doing that.
Yeah, He's not going to give us the kingdom if we don't know how to manage it.
If we aren't prepared.
You don't give your children power that they can't maintain.
No, sir.
You put one child in charge of the other children when you know that he can be responsible.
When and there's going to be trouble anytime that happens.
Yeah.
Because the other children are not going to take orders from Big Brother.
No.
It's just what it is.
Unless he know how to maintain order.
They're still he may be able to maintain order, but the other ones still aren't going to like it. They're not going to fully submit to Big Bro. They submit to mom and dad.
They'll submit to lunch. They'll submit to him being able to make sure that they get fed. They'll submit to certain aspects of it.
Yeah.
You just got to understand how that works.
And you and I are both big brothers. We understand that dynamic. We had to more or less wear that, but we also understand both of them. And we're both three. You have two siblings. I have two siblings.
Oh, okay.
We're both big brothers. So they he's older, but you ain't mom, bro. You definitely ain't dad, nigga. Cool. All right. I'm doing the bare minimum of submission just so I don't get in trouble when you tell mom.
But part of management isn't micromanagement, right? That's bad management. Part of management is being able to negotiate the rules in a way that makes them be tolerant of them.
Facts.
And being able to convey mom and dad's authority without force.
Yeah.
When you try to add force, that's bad management.
That's not. It's ineffective management. To be very clear.
So
it's not doesn't work.
So for us to look at white people and be like, we gotta do this. That's bad management. We gotta be able to be at peace with the fact that we disagree with them.
Yeah.
That's what separation is. Once we decide, oh, we don't need y'all.
Yeah.
We gonna manage ourselves over here. Then we can get the kingdom.
Then we can get it. But we have to learn what it takes to manage ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
And we're in that process now. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, bro.
this is all a journey of self discovery.
It's like, bro. It's like, okay.
Trying to find the inner manager.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one thing the white man is good at, he's good at managing and administering.
Oh, he's excellent at
He's
it.
the corporate. That's all the corporation is. It's a way of it's a chain of command and a diffusing responsibility and power and control. It's very effective.
There's
It's
a lot of things we can learn from him,
and we should.
We should.
And as long because that's what we've got to that's what we've got to learn from. So while we're in it, take notes and apply.
That's what he's here for.
That's what he's. That's what. No. That's why we put him here, ho. That's
part.
why we drew him out of our own genes to manifest a cold, killing, effective machine that we could take notes from and apply to the kingdom that is coming.
And put a little bit of love in it.
Put some love in it, bro.
Remix it for a better future.
Put some love in it, bro. Because you got to think like the white. If you study this white minds, white philosophers, they're very cold, calculating, and efficient.
Yeah.
Philosophers, Hume, Descartes, L. Ron Hubbard, like you view them that their thinking is devoid of soul and spirit. Not even no disrespect.
Well,
It's like classical music versus jazz
yeah.
or soul music. Both beautiful, but
have
both
their place.
very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And I like both. Classical, I listen to classical music all the time, but I understand that classical music is the pretty much one of the heights of Roman culture, Caucasian culture. It's like, oh yeah, it's beautiful, it's clean, it's crisp and precise. Same reason I like Scientology, because it's clean and precise and there's formulaic, prescriptive, like a tank.
But even in that, some of the best to ever have done it were black.
Hey man,
Yeah.
yeah.
They added a little bit of jazz in places that you couldn't hear it.
Yeah, and that's what
makes it better.
That's what makes it better.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's what jazz is really. That's the black man. It's like you get it. It's like, okay, well, we add the spice and pizzazz. It's soul, bro.
No, it is.
It's just soul, bro.
That's exactly what it is.
It's just what it is. It's soul, bro. I was like, oh yeah, okay, y'all have that, but we're gonna take what you got and we're gonna pop. That's a black man.
You seen that one black
That
man
rhythm.
who plays tennis? And he's like he's jumping all over the place.
Nah, yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
That's us, bro. That's jazz. That's what we do. But everything.
Yeah.
That's hip hop. That's everything. And it's like, okay, y'all got it. But this is we God. We gonna show you. We bounce to the beat of a different rhythm. And their empire, from their calendar to their music, it's on their time. Like, I'm not sure. You study music?
Not really.
So their music there's time signatures, like 4/4/3/4. The waltz is 1/2/3, 1/2/3/4. Most music is 4/4. So just very standard, basic time signatures that delineate the flow of music. Where you look at like nigga music, it's syncopation and offbeat, but it's still beautiful, and our flow is different.
No, when it goes off beat, those are the best parts.
It's the best part. Yeah. It's the best part, and that's where we live. And you extrapolate the rhythm, and you look at, oh, okay, that's us. That essence of that offbeat and being able to flow. That's what Timu calls the meta nature. That's the pyramids. That's our essence.
That's
and
nature.
It's nature. It's nature.
Nature does not grow in a specific structure.
No.
When you see structure, you're like, that's not nature.
And facts. And you got to think, like, and you take what is the black woman is nature and space. The black man is father time. So he sets the cadence. The black woman is the canvas for all of creation, and the black man time.
You see those
Motion.
relationships play out in everything in life.
That's
like
right.
That's how it's supposed to be. There's always, those dynamics that counterbalance each other.
That's right.
The duality.
That's right.
Yin and yang.
That's right. So really, just realizing. So what Timu calls Osir or Osiris is really it's the essence. It's the flow. It's agriculture. It's father time, and that is our role. And the black woman is the holder and creator, the holder of space. It's like, okay, well, the whole creation comes from me.
Uh-huh.
Allah created me for that purpose.
For that purpose.
For that purpose. So in order for us to truly ascend, it's like there's no ascending without the black woman.
Uh-huh.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. We're only as strong as our weakest link.
That's right.
You know, whatever that weak link is, if it's the black man, then we got to get the black man. If it's the black woman, then we got to get the black. All of us got to get in here.
But what are we taught? That most of our work is done with the female, and especially in the nation, because
70% of it.
There you go. 70% of our work is the reformation of the black female, the black
The
woman.
woman is the one who creates the
That's
nation.
where the nation comes from.
And he talks about in how to give birth to a god. It's like your children are, you know, they're subject to your mentality at the time you give birth to them. You know, so whatever, like he was talking about how cancer will be healed through the womb of a woman. Whatever a woman desires in like her heart of hearts is what she gives birth to through this child.
Yeah.
Whatever problems the world needs to be solved from her perspective are what this child is going to do in this world if he's, you know, given the right opportunities and circumstances.
Yeah.
So, you know, a man's job is to inspire that woman to be able to do that. Like his job is to impart on her what's the most important things and like help her find that level of, you know, balance so that it's not a traumatic experience. It's just an understanding.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to, you know, Brother Marquise, because he's always showing the importance of the female.
Yeah.
And it's the way he speaks on it is very powerful. And it's a way that rubs contemporary Negroes and niggas the wrong way. Not the right way, but it makes them mad because our instinct is like, we're the king, we're in charge, we get to say, we're...
They don't like it when they feel like you're betraying
that psychology.
Yeah.
No, and then it's... People think that being a man is unchecked masculinity and power and might.
No, that's being a boy.
That's being a boy. That's being a tyrant, which is a little boy. Little boys are tyrants
for sure.
And I'm noticing that that is that's more normative than not. That's like that attitude that in this new wave of black God, whatever. It's just you're not taking into perspective the experience of the female. Like you're in this little kingdom fantasy kingdom. Are you thinking about what is best for them? No. 99% of the times, no.
Most niggas see females as a chew toy.
Yes. That you're entitled to more than one of to chew on.
Yeah, and you leave them around the yard, you know, to be, you know, covered in your saliva and then tossed around in dirt and dust.
Absolutely.
And only be played with as you see fit.
Absolutely. And I'm talking to prior versions of myself and current versions of myself I'm still trying to shake from me.
No, for sure.
So like I'm not throwing rocks at any...
When I say niggas, there's a cut of my pie that is also in that mode.
Very much in that mode, bro. And I'm like... I was watching Marquise today. I was like, man, you on it, bro. And I respect you being able to stand on it. Because his thing is really like... Marquise is about his family. And anyone who's listening, I want to...
This is Marquise Henri. Henri on Instagram.
Yeah, it's our boy. It's our man. It's our brother, Marquise. Definitely shout out. Check him out because he stands on a square when it comes to the black family. And one thing I really do appreciate is like, if we're not addressing the high levels of divorce within the nation, we're skipping steps.
For sure.
We've got, and you said something on one of his posts, something about the family. We got to fix the family.
Yeah.
We have to focus on the family.
Yeah.
So on that note, like I see a lot of what's going on in Judeo-Christian land with archetypes like Jordan Peterson actually trying to counter all of this anti-male woman dynamic family household stuff with what's been going on in Devil's World. Mm-hmm. Jordan Peterson's he sees what's going on and he's actually like, no. Well, we're not with that. The church isn't with that. We're not with that. So
you got to double down on the church.
And that's where there's companionship and allyship with that psychology, because them in using the bones of the Roman Empire to actually structure to strengthen the family structure, some of those benefits are going to capture down to us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So while they're on their last Roman hurrah, we're going to catch the effects of those structural changes to allow us to strengthen our families.
No, everything is towards the good. Like all
Yeah.
of it. It all benefits in the end. Like
Exactly.
I don't look at any of it as gonna be able to hurt us.
Yeah.
No weapon formed against us shall prosper.
No, at all. And you just got to what I've realized is like they're just we're playing a very long game.
Yeah.
Very long game.
Yeah.
Especially with agriculture, bro. Like, let's be clear. Like, this is not overnight shit that we're talking. No, bro. No. And Allah's really like checking me. He's like, yeah, bro. Like, I feel you, my nigga.
Once I realized the length of the game that we're playing,
bro, it's on.
I started getting way more into these blue zones.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we gonna need a couple lifetimes to be able to figure this thing out.
God. Yeah. No, and we're not gonna witness and taste the fruit of all of our labor. It ain't gonna happen, bro. No. Not in these 100 years.
You got to accept that part off the top.
It's not easy because the ego wants it all right now, including me, bro. I want it all. I want it all.
I don't want to know that I possibly might die and we still in hell. I want to know. I want to be able to experience paradise.
Absolutely.
But what I've come to realize is if paradise ain't in you already, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
The paradise got to be in your heart.
Absolutely.
You got to be able to find heaven now.
You got to. You have to.
You have to.
And it's a constant.
How can you create heaven if you don't have no concept of it?
It's a constant struggle, and and Satan tries to take it from you.
Yeah, that's his job.
It's his job. And what I've realized is heaven starts with your family. Mm-hmm. You got to have heaven at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm realizing my most happiest moments is when my family was an operating unit and we were just getting dinner.
Yeah.
Simple. Or going to Canada and getting like biscuits with gravy. No, I had like thoughts, like really being like, man, like when my wife is still here, my happiest moments is like just kicking it and doing nothing with my children.
No, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
And even like yesterday, we were walking down the street and my
you can't explain that to a woman though. I try to explain to them that, or to my wife that I much prefer sitting at the house just being in our little personal heaven than these elaborate vacations. Like we take these elaborate vacations and it's stressful for me the whole time. Like I can't wait to be home. Like I enjoy the experiences. Don't get me wrong. I like traveling. I like seeing different things that I've never seen before. Tasting food that somebody else created. Like I like all of that. But you're not gonna tell me that that's heaven.
Nah, man.
That's fun. It's not heaven.
It's not heaven, bro. Yeah. Heaven is just laying down in bed with your children reading stories.
Heaven is enjoying. My wife said something the other day to one of her friends. She's like, "Yeah, I'm going home to enjoy this rent that I pay." It's like that's heaven.
It's heaven, bro.
It's like I know that my bills is paid and my house is safe and my house is clean. Like that's heaven.
Yeah, heaven is realizing that money ain't shit. Like actually like feeling like, oh man, this is actually feeling that like, oh, this money, I'm not.
That's definitely a form of heaven because I came to that realization a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like no, like you could never be living for money. No, you can't. And it's easy to get caught up in the game when you're out there on hustle and grind mode.
Yeah,
but
if you're not trying to find a way to help the world, while you're broke, you're hustling backwards. Like
that's right.
You got to be able to help the maximum amount of people with exactly what you got right now.
That's right, bro.
Because if you trying to wait till you get money and all of that, like that ain't going. You're not helping nobody.
You're chasing money. You're not chasing Allah.
No,
I'm not chasing Allah, but you're not serving Allah.
Jesus wasn't a rich man. He impacted the world 2,000 years later.
Nah, bro. And then the minister built the nation broke.
Yeah.
Broke as a joke, man.
Yeah.
And every time I find myself chasing the dollar, Allah has to remind me. It's like, hey, bro, you didn't even say what's up to your son.
Man.
And he checks me every time. I was like, I don't get it. Hey, bro, I gave you these babies. He's like, you better not. Don't get it fucked up, bro. I'm going to take it for granted. And I'll check you. And he checks me. He checks me hard, too. It's not like a pleasant check. It's very like, he'll give me a taste of the fire.
Yeah.
The fire. And it's always just like a feeling of, the fire is what burns inside is that feeling of unease and discomfort. Heaven is peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hell is anxiety and discomfort and grief.
Yeah.
Grief and woe and worry.
Yeah.
That's hell. That's the most simplest front. So whenever you're chasing things that are not Allah, He's gonna give you more of the woe.
Yeah.
But when you're on His path and serving Him, it's like, okay, now I'll give you a little bit of that peace of mind. And it's always a battle between those both.
Even the woe falls off when you serving Him. Like, you're gonna find obstacles, but if you're in submission, the obstacles they're not insurmountable.
Yeah. Nah, they're just things you got to do.
Yeah.
When you're not in submission, they're impossible.
Yeah.
And they're oppressive.
Yeah. That's
And
and that's how you know whether you're on the right path.
Facts.
That's how you know if you're in submission or not. Is when the obstacles become like daunting. It's like, okay, what am I doing wrong?
No, and I'll be clear. It's like, oh, I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
No, that's what it manifests in your being. Is like you really feel you can't do it.
Yeah.
Even if you know that with Allah, all things are possible, but you just like, oh, I can't do that shit. That's how you know that you're not in submission right now.
When Allah made the physical universe from nothing,
Yeah.
He destroyed the concept of impossible.
Ain't nothing impossible, bro.
Nothing.
So if you're feeling that something's impossible, it's because you're not fully in submission.
You're not on your deen.
Not on your deen, bro. Yeah, not on your deen at all. So, easier said than done.
No, for sure.
Because every day is a new battle.
Yeah.
And every day is a new hustle.
Yeah.
And we do have material obligations to meet. We must acquire money to pay rent to satisfy our families and domestic others.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And ain't nobody out there that's going,
They ain't no mystery God.
Not at all.
At all.
You got to work for every dime.
Every dime. And if you delude yourself into thinking that the money comes from nowhere or from credit cards, then Allah's going to make you taste that smoke. He's going to make you taste it.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to make you taste it. Like, oh,
credit cards are of the devil.
They're the devil, bro. I'm learning that the hard way. It's like, oh, man, okay. I knew there was an end game here. Okay. All right, Allah. Thank you. All right, we on it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's actually, because it's easy to make credit a God over God.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
why they put it there.
That's the devil.
That's why they put it there. That's the whole purpose of even having a whole money system that's not based on anything.
Make it so easy.
You mean this money system is not based on gold or silver or wood or it's on smoke?
It's on Satan.
Yeah.
Deception. It's on Satan.
Yeah.
It's on Satan. So you just have to. Man, no, it's just Allah is the ultimate currency. But Satan make it so easy.
He does.
He makes it very easy.
Well, it was respectfully is his world, right?
Yeah.
Respectfully, he shaped us, and we were born in his sins, and so all of that comes natural, just as our nature should.
Yeah.
But it's turning over.
Yeah.
And that transition is gonna be just as hard for us as it is for everybody.
Yeah.
People that's not gonna make it into the next phase, they're not gonna have a good time. And people that are gonna make it into the next phase, they're not gonna have a good time.
And the part of you that's caught in this world that
is the part that has to die.
It's gonna feel like death.
It's gonna feel like death.
It's gonna feel like death. And Allah's showing me, like, hey, bro, you still got some.
You got some layers of skin that need to be peeled off.
Yeah. Oh man. And Allah's not. He'll do it.
No, he's going to.
I'm gonna do it. I got you. Bro.
Worse,
you have faith, right?
Worse, he's gonna allow you to do it.
Yeah. Woo! And the thing is, it's this. So I was talking to someone about life is. This is a game. It's an opportunity to really, explore why you came here. We get these bodies. We come here, jump in these bodies, and we got a purpose. We may not remember the purpose by which we chose this body at the specific time, but we got a purpose. And you have to realize that, and what helps me get through it is like anytime you taking it too serious, is you need to self-reflect and be like, okay, this is just a game. I could do this. Allah is the greatest. I chose to be here.
It makes it a little bit easier when you recognize yourself as the spirit driving the physical, instead of the physical holding on to the spirit or somehow
that's a prison
being connected to or understanding the spirit.
Yeah.
I'm the spirit.
Yeah.
The physical is just what you see.
That's right.
I know I'm more than that.
That's right.
Much more than that.
Much more.
You can't see it all. So I don't get mad at you when you think of me as just the physical. I respect that because that's
right.
what you can see.
That's what you can see.
You know, and I see more of you than you can see because I recognize that I'm a spirit, then I recognize that you a spirit.
That's right.
You know,
And
but
you are
a lot of people in this world are limited to the physical reality.
That's right.
And you know, you can't be mad at somebody that's limited.
You can't.
You just gotta understand.
That's all you can
Be
do.
understanding.
That's it. That's it. And we're just operating with knowing that you're a spirit driving. You have to know that you're a spirit driving body, but also realize that you aren't limited to just you. You are also all things.
Yeah.
You're just not all knowing.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
That you can grow into that. It takes time.
But that's when you shed this physical.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
So while you here, you function based on the prison, the limited parameters that you have.
The body.
Yeah.
It's a body.
The body.
The body.
You focus your attention on what the body is here for.
That's right.
Because that's why you came into the body, to exact that purpose.
And also, this is why God made you to explore that part of himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So God's also
the divine dichotomy.
It is. It's like, hey man, this is in this constant expansion of the universe. Allah is also exploring and having fun with us too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is a game for him too.
No, yeah. Yeah.
It's a fun game.
He's playing it on a different level.
It's a different level, but it's a game. And there's always, the thing is, we have obstacles and problems. Allah had an obstacle and problem when he needed to create himself, then the woman, then everything else. So what makes you think that the obstacles and problems don't stop with God? Like, he has them too.
Yeah.
And this is me channeling. I was like, no, they don't stop. He has. It wouldn't be a game. It's a game for everybody, and that's what causes the expansion, is him overcoming these obstacles.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, next level.
Yeah.
Next level.
Him even experiencing the obstacles through us.
Through us at the micro, but through himself, through the whole totality of experience, over and over, and like that's the expansion of him.
Yeah.
And that's the. So we are exploring ourselves and learning things about us in the micro, but at the macro, through all of the collective experience, Allah is experiencing newfound levels of himself and growing into that effect. It's deep.
He, along with the universe, are infinite because they're constantly growing.
Yeah. And it's funny that Master Farah Muhammad, Allah in person, the picture of him we see is, what is he doing? The one picture we have of him, what is he doing? Reading a book.
Yeah.
Why would God read a book?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because he had work to do.
Uh-huh.
And he's showing us. It's like, oh no, don't. If I'm reading a book,
you should be.
What are you doing? If Allah is reading a book, what should you be doing?
Yeah.
That's real, right?
Constantly.
Isn't that real? Like, the first revelation to the Prophet Muhammad was read. That's the first revelation of the angel Gabriel who revealed the Quran. Read. The first image of Allah in person in this iteration of time in the form of Master Farah Muhammad is brother reading a book. Very simple. Beautiful picture. Reading a book.
I just listened to this Jordan Peterson interview, and him and this guy was talking about it's a concept I haven't really figured out fully, so I got to listen to it a couple more times. But just the fact that, you know, we were created in a universe of words. This isn't a silent universe. Yeah. God created us by be, and it is. The first thing that God gave us was the word. He told us that he was the truth, the word, the light, the answer. You know, this world needs to be understood.
Yeah.
And I think about the fact that, you know, if you just go back 500 years ago, like, nobody got a chance to understand the world like that. You had to be like, in the grand scheme of things, not 1% of all people had an understanding of how to read or understand bigger concepts than what they were going on in their daily life. Yeah. Just 500 years ago. You know, and then you fast forward that till about 200 years ago, and, you know, slave masters or people that the colonizers had that information and they used it to colonize the planet. Now everybody has access to this information.
Everybody, bro.
All of us have this information.
All of us.
And I mean, and we're not even accurately using it to any type of degree.
No.
But as we move forward and that access to information grows, more and more people will start using this information.
That's right.
And that's the reason why we're seeing the beginning of this new world, the end of the old world.
Yeah.
Because the access to information has grown so massive. I was listening to Elon Musk. He was talking about how
the Joe Rogan podcast.
This is a whole new podcast. It was somebody interviewed Elon Musk.
A white dude.
Yeah.
White dude. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but it's the nerdy white dude. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a boring looking podcast. What's his name?
But it was a good intro. It was very interesting.
Hold up. I'm gonna just give a shout out so we can give people. Man.
This is like his third time interviewing Elon Musk too.
That's another person of this Roman Renaissance. I see the pillars. Elon Musk,
Yeah.
whom I'm a fan of. I'll be very clear.
Yeah.
Hey, for the record, I'm a fan of Elon Musk, bro.
No, I am too. I like his philosophy. I like the way he gets down.
I like the way he gets down. I like Tesla cars are dope.
Yeah.
Gotta give credit where credit's due. I'm not gonna hate a brother because he's rich and white.
No.
That's foolish and petty.
No, it is.
And that's really what
Rise above your emotions
no,
instead of
for
thinking
real.
of God.
That's honestly if most people because he has haters.
Yeah.
But that's ultimately what it
comes down to.
Yeah, comes down to is like he's rich and white and successful and bought Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him buying Twitter. It's like that's a cold move.
To me, it's his intelligence. Like the rich part, okay.
Yeah.
He's an intelligent man.
So like if we're talking like the new Roman Mount Rushmore of like the really like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Jordan Peterson. Anyone else? I said Pope Francis, but like he's not really culturally relevant.
Yeah. He's not out there like that.
He's not out there like that. And he's also old. Anyone else? Like as far as like,
I'm sure there are.
Let me think of one more. Who's like a respectable white boy with integrity and power and influence that stands on his dean square? Elon Musk, Jordan Peterson.
That's a very tall list. When you say it like that, then yeah, not too many.
Joe Rogan.
Respectable, stands on their D. Like.
That's a high standard.
Yeah,
that
right.
has
integrity. Come on. Yeah, that's a short list.
That is a short list, man.
Integrity that we know of.
That can be perceived.
Yeah.
It's not Lex Friedman podcast. Lex Friedman, that's the name of it. Lex Friedman, Elon Musk podcast. Well, he went on both podcasts in like the period of 2 weeks.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
I completely lost my train of thought about what I was going to
say. Yeah, you're talking about him being on a podcast with Lex Friedman and Elon Musk said something about something.
Yeah.
But it was definitely Elon Musk related, I believe.
It was.
Do you remember what he said?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm lost. But it was a very good podcast.
What I learned from Elon Musk is that he is a CEO of multiple big things.
Mm-hmm.
SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter.
Yeah. What's the guy who owns Amazon? I like him too.
Bezos.
He don't talk that much.
I don't like Bezos.
I like Bezos.
I don't like Bezos.
I don't like Amazon. I hate it because of how it works, but
I'll be petty. I don't like how he looks or talks. I don't like how Zuckerberg looks.
Okay.
Or talks, really. I like him kind of now because he's doing MMA and fighting, and I'm like, damn, I kind of have to respect you now. But as far as like...
I just listen to the things that they say when they do talk.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm impressed by really good chess moves.
I haven't really taken the time to listen to Bezos. He got bars?
He's got bars.
I mean...
How is he where he's at without having bars?
That's real. No, that's real, bro. Yeah. No, that's real. And I need to get out of my emotions. And judging him based on... I also had dreams about him and like Bill Gates being...
I don't like Bill Gates, but I respect him. I absolutely abhor Bill Gates, but I respect him.
Well, he's Satan. One of them.
He's the closest to the devil I could think of. Except for the fact that I know that the devil would not be seen.
That's true. Yeah, he's the one that he could definitely see him, but he's just... Yeah,
the devil must hide himself.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, he's making a good run for it.
He's making a damn good run.
And if I was gonna be the devil and I was trying to hide, I would hide in plain sight. So possibly.
Hey man, He's up there.
Yeah.
You know, put in Satan's, and like he's one of them.
He's creating fake food,
Yeah, he's buying
artificial
He's
food,
buying land, and then this AI, a lot of him.
and if he's responsible for the RNA, he's creating fake people.
Well, that's what the whole function of the vaccine is to really change human beings to be less than such.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's all up
Programming
in
human
AI.
beings.
So yeah,
You got to think that there's no disconnection between the resurgence of AI and putting RNA vaccines into human beings. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they're putting you in a matrix and making you fit into their matrix and making you a humanoid machine that can be controlled even easier than you already are with media and currency.
showing us the movie Matrix was the softball. It was to get us mentally ready for the reality of it.
What they're going to do to you.
What they want to do.
What they are going to do. What they arguably have done already.
That part.
And that's why, their moves. The thing is, and I mentioned, I'm not gonna speak too much in depth about what's going on, but the Empire's making Death Star moves right now.
Mm-hmm.
And because they can, and they did their homework, and they pregame for this moment. It's like, all right, vax the planet, we got AI. Now let's take over. For real.
But that's how they operate.
Exactly.
That's how they do everything.
Yeah.
They do a little test here and there, and then they say, all right, we got them. They not tripping. Like, they're not going to do nothing if we do this. They're not going to do this. They test the waters with us inch by inch for everything that they want to do.
Yeah.
And so I shudder to think what the pandemic was a test for, but I know it was a test for something greater that they have in mind.
But I think we're seeing it right now. It's
Okay.
like, okay, well, if you guys are just literally bend over for a vaccine, what you really going to do if we just
Do whatever the hell we want.
do whatever we want? Oh, we're just going to go slip down here and just take some more land. What are you going to do?
Nothing.
You're going to bitch and moan. You're going to get emotional, and you're going to go on Twitter, and you're going on Instagram, and you're going to make a slogan out of it and a hashtag.
You're going to protest, and then you're going to come pay me for banners.
And that's what I see. I was like, and I'm realizing it's like, okay, you guys are going to do the same old thing. Hashtags, change your Instagram profile picture, cry and moan, and watch the news. And I'm like, I had a conversation with some colleagues about the only way out is the long game.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're not talking about
The only way out.
starting from scratch, building the foundation, you're not talking.
You're not talking.
You're not in the conversation.
You're not. And you got to realize the reason why Satan can make these moves, he plans for these moves well in advance, arguably hundreds upon hundreds of years in advance. That's the time they're on.
When I started with this vision of me moving to the land, I had these like dreams of me being Noah, and how I recognized that I gotta build the boat by myself.
Yeah.
And then I got caught up in the idea of everybody.
Noah specifically.
Noah.
Not Jonah. Noah. Jonah was the
He's in
whale.
the whale.
Jonah
Noah
was the
was the
whale.
one
Noah
who had
was
to build
the
the boat.
boat.
Yeah.
Making sure.
It was me building the boat.
Okay, that's Noah. Yes, sir.
And somehow I got caught up in the idea of everybody agrees with me that this boat needs to be built, so I'm gonna have a lot of help. And recently I've come back to the realization that ain't how Noah did it.
Noah built that shit over 100 years, bro.
Yeah, and so my latest dreams are of me being out there by myself, preparing.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm making myself at peace with the idea that ain't nobody coming along. If that's the will of Allah, then that's the will of Allah.
That's what it is, bro.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about it.
It's not. And I know based on what Allah has told me, is like, he put you on this path, bro.
Yeah. And it's a sacrificial path.
And you got to think, like, your life has been a sacrifice.
It is.
You had to deal with the blunt of your father departing.
Yeah.
You had to be that father figure for your brother and sister. Now you're in
all of the trials.
All the trials. Now
they've prepared me mentally for what it is I have to do.
For real, bro. It's you a frontline nigga.
Yeah. I've always been a frontline
nigga, bro. Both of us. And that's, there's a wariness and it comes. That's what that's what it is.
That's what it is.
And that's what I had to really, and like, because there are times like the smoke's been so heavy, I'm like, man, Allah. And I open up the Quran, and and every time I feel like that, I cut up right to this chapter, which is, and I'll show you and have you read it what it says. This chapter. What's that say?
I can't see that far.
You can't read?
Read it. Say it. Say it.
No. I want you just to validate. What does that say? And read the first part.
The ways of ascent.
Yes, sir. Chapter what?
70.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Read.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. A questioner asks. I can't see this lighting in here.
I need to read it.
Hold on. Let me put my thing on.
You need glasses?
Bro. A questioner asks about the chastisement of to befall the disbelievers. There is none to avert it. From Allah, Lord of the ways of ascent.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
No, I definitely need glasses, but I am fighting the concept of wearing them because I've never seen anybody wear glasses and get better.
I feel you. No. Good point. Good observation, sir. Good observation. I feel you, bro. So you're fighting reality too.
As long as I
I
possibly
feel you,
can.
bro.
Because at some
I
point,
see you squinting all the time. Too.
it's
I'm like, bro,
inevitable.
I see you squinting.
I'm gonna
like,
have to
this
wear
nigga out here
glasses.
Squinting.
At some point, I'm gonna wake up and I'm like, oh, I can't see nothing.
Yeah. From Allah, Lord of the ways of ascent, to him ascend the angels and the spirit in the day, the measure of which is 50,000 years. 50,000 years. So be patient with the goodly patience. Long game.
Yeah. I read, I don't know if it was Theology of Time or if it was How to Eat to Live, but I was reading, the messenger was saying, I think it was How to Eat to Live because I just got done reading that again. The messenger was saying that we mark our calendars with 12 months. That's the actual calendar.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it. I thought that was like the Roman Catholic calendar. But he said
12 months?
12 months.
No. 12 months, 12 scientists.
Yeah.
12 is a rulership. 12
Yeah.
is 12 is powerful.
I was very confused about that.
No.
I hadn't realized that before the Roman Empire even existed, we already had 12 months. They might have changed the names up.
Yeah, because the thing about what is set is the amount of time it takes
For the Earth to rotate
go
around the sun. Exactly. 365 days.
Yeah,
that's in stone.
That's fixed.
Yeah, and
that's fixed.
4 months for every 3 months for every season. That's normal.
Right?
Yeah, it has to happen in that way.
So the manipulation comes is when do these years start?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna start our shit in the middle of winter.
And what do we call them?
Absolutely, Roman gods.
Sprinkle a little bit of falsehood on top of a whole bunch of truths.
Right. So then you have at the end of the year, you got some bullshit in Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you start the new year in the middle of holiday drunkenness, confusion, and just throw you right back in the loop, bro.
Yeah.
So, really, and we're in the thing about it's cold-blooded because the darkness really starts with Halloween.
Yeah.
That's when like the devil comes out. It's like, all right, y'all had a good summer, y'all got it in. But now Satan's here, okay? So you got Halloween.
Right before winter.
Halloween, just devil. Just demons. Demon.
That's technically the end of the year, right? How does that work?
In devil time, yes, it's the end of the year.
Okay.
It's the last quarter. So I would say, yeah.
Start of the last quarter.
Yeah. So it's the end of their year.
Okay.
It's the start of the end of the year. It's the fall to the end of the year. So you got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. So they're really just giving you, and I feel this depression, like this downward. You're starting the new year in a depression, in like the most depressing part of the year. Then you start brand new when you feel you're at your worst. That's devil.
Yeah.
That's devil. And I've really been like studying time and feeling time, and I'm like, there's how much manipulation. It says that the Ethiopian calendar is 7 years, I think, ahead or behind. Behind, because it tracks the real birth date of Jesus, which is 7 years ago. And I'm like, I don't not believe that. So I'm like, if you're playing these games with time, which is the flow of everything, then why wouldn't you just move 7 years around just to keep people even more confused and lie? Because the thing about Satan is his power comes in deception.
Mm-hmm.
Lying is deception.
Mm-hmm.
Magic is deception. Magic is manipulating and shielding reality to put your own show on. That's his entire world. lying, deception, witchcraft, wizardry, and bullshit.
I mean, the only way to maintain power over, the natural rulers is to change all of the rules.
All of them.
It's like if you don't change the natural order of things, the natural rulers will rule.
Because it's the natural way. It's the natural way.
Yeah.
So they literally have to keep us in their world of deception, lies, witchcraft, and magic.
Yeah.
It's all Satan.
But now that we know that the truth is out there and we have the ability to gain access to it, there's no excuse for allowing what we're allowing to continue. We have to step up to the plate now.
Yeah.
And attempting to rule what's already falling is silly.
So it's wasted energy.
Yeah. A lot of wasted energy.
But extracting resources from what is currently functioning may not be the best, is necessary to build what you got.
To start. As long as we recognize that, everything that this world has to offer is going to be made new. All of this is a folly. The only real truth is getting good with submission.
That's right.
That's the only thing that will be constant.
No, facts, bro. And we just realize that we're the bridge.
Yeah.
We are the bridge to the hereafter.
No, for sure.
And we have to get that as sacrifice. We are laying down our lives to bridge our future bodies and our children to get them on the other side, bro. Sacrifice. So it's
our communities are as many of our people as we can.
As many as we can. And someone's got to do it. That's what we say. We're soldiers.
Yeah.
But are you really willing to put your life on the line?
Most people aren't.
Nah. And then Satan gives them an option to, okay, you aren't? Come over here in my world. Have some fun.
Live for today.
That's fun.
Don't worry about tomorrow.
Go feel good. That's really what it is. It's just like, Satan gives you the opportunity to feel good at every opportunity and not be responsible.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's what he affords you. But, there's people like Jordan Peterson who call that out and be like, he's good at speaking on, like, go. Hand you business, bro.
I've been holding it for like a week.
I can tell.
Oh, there's so much better. Jordan Peterson.
That I was talking about. Yeah. No, he's just good at making white boys feel not even white, making men feel responsible. Yeah, feeling like his thing is like it's not okay to be a little bitch. Man,
Yeah.
no, it's okay to be. There's a quote about him saying, it's okay to be a monster. Just channel that energy and use it. So, But I think just to close out what I was just bringing about the whole Judeo-Christian world, what that is Rome, and Israel being the head of that, being the brain, and Rome being just the functioning body parts, is they're on their last hurrah, and we have to see it for what it is. And I told this dream to Timu, like I've had just realize like our kingdom is not at that level. Our kingdom is in this blueprint stage. Like they've put this Rome at this is thousands of years in the making. So we can't get caught in the trap of thinking like that we're able to operate at that scale yet.
I think you might be feeding steak to a baby though.
I think.
Because if to the extent that people have disconnected from this world, which we ourselves haven't even fully done.
No, bro.
That's the extent that they can comprehend the gravity of the situation.
Yeah.
You know, they're understanding how far back we are takes a certain level of understanding who we are.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people want to like. I've understood for a very long time that the problem with Black people is we're lost in time.
Ooh.
A lot of us think of ourselves as freed slaves. Think of ourselves as, you know, Egyptians, Africans, all these different Indians, all these different concepts. Very few of us consider ourselves to be the makers, the owners, the cream of the planet Earth, gods of the universe. Like, very few of us understand that we predate all things. Our lineage is traced back to the creator of the heavens and the earth. We are the children of God.
Facts.
We say it, but we don't consider the concept.
Yeah. No.
Like
we created time.
Everything.
Motion starts with us.
Yeah.
Ends alpha omega ends with us.
And when you limit us to a specific time period, you're essentially saying that, you know, we're not who we are.
Yeah.
You're naming us something other than who we are.
Yeah.
Those are just inklings of time on our story.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not 17-year-old Amin. I'm not 21-year-old Amin. I'm not 35-year-old. I am all of the Amins that I know of me. You know, like I am every year that I've been born for the last 40 years. All of them are me.
You're also all of the lifetimes of previous versions of Amin who weren't named Amin. You're also that.
Like the two grandparents or the two parents that it took to make me here. The 4 grandparents that it took. The 8 great grandparents. The 16 great grandparents. Like all of them are me.
Absolutely.
You know?
Genetically, but then spiritually, you as Amin are your own being that has been here since
time immemorial.
Beginning.
Yeah.
That is who you are. That's who we are. That spirit, that spark, is us. But also our own. The beautiful part is like we've always been. Someone told me it's like the spirit. It's like we've always been us, like me and you. Like we've had this. Our personality has remained constant through these. We may have been more of a bad guy or a good guy. I played a different character, but the personality has always been the same.
That's an interesting philosophy that I still play with because when you think about personality, the first thing that comes to mind is person.
I feel you.
And
no.
Prior to having this physical existence, was I this person? I don't know.
You weren't this person's body.
I mean, I wasn't.
Body.
That's
the truth.
My sense of humor is based on where I come from.
Yeah.
All of my experiences, my parents, like all of these things are factors that led to this person that I am. I think the only thing that connects me to outside of this physical being is my purpose.
I feel you.
You know?
I feel you.
I can't say for sure that I understand that my personality outside of this physical plane is the same. Mm-hmm. I don't know that. It would be an interesting thing to find out. I'm waiting to find out, but I'll let that be a waiting thing until I die.
It can't. No, or you could do the work and find out now.
What if
it happened?
But what if my spirit or the spiritual version of myself that I think of myself is not, because this is the way I look at it. It's not at all separate from God.
It's not.
It's not at all separate from the original being before creating physicality who said, "Be it is."
It's not separate. Nothing is separate from God. God is Allah. Allah, it's
So
everything.
so essentially, when I leave this physical being, this energy, this spirit that I am, we say returns to source, but it just becomes what it always was, which is source.
Source.
So my personality, quote unquote, would be his personality.
One of them.
If there is more than one.
Interesting.
See, I look
Interesting.
I look at it like
Interesting.
I look at it like I think the minister explained it like where God is like the energy that is inside the light bulb. When you change the bulb, which is the physical human body,
Yeah.
the energy is still there because energy is constant.
Yeah.
But I don't look at it like whatever amount of energy that is in that bulb at any one given second, because that's what we are, just here for a blip.
Yeah. A bulb.
Whatever energy is in that bulb at any one given second isn't the same energy that's in that bulb in the next second.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I was to pour a glass of water into the ocean and then I scoop up another glass of water, that second glass of water might have some of the particles of water that or drops of water that was in it from the last glass.
Yeah.
But it's an entirely different glass of water. Every physical being that is here isn't the exact same physical being that has ever been here before.
Yeah.
Personality, physical, traits, all of it is all different. Because once you pour it back into the source, it dissipates and moves around. It doesn't stay constant. I can't conceive of this Amin with this personality and this looks being the same Amin that is transferred into another body later. It doesn't calculate for that way for me. It might. I mean, I can't say for sure how that works.
No.
But with my limited perception and my limited ability to understand God as a being that is in everything and in all of the nothing at the same time, he creates us and gives us life, and we return to him after we decide to give this life back.
Yeah.
And it for us to return to him means that we're back in full submission. And for us to be in full submission, we are him.
Yeah. No, for real. For real. Oh.
And while we're here in these physical bodies, the idea is to get as close to full submission as we possibly can.
Yeah. That's the game.
That's it.
That's the game. Or carrying these bodies and the baggage and trauma that come with them.
Yeah.
So I think, the more we clear up of that which that we carry, our burden, that which is not us, the easier that becomes.
Yeah.
And it's just difficult for us because we've been through a hell.
We've been through hell.
We're still in it. We're still in hell.
Trying to heal from the burns of hell while you're still in the fire.
Still in the fire. And people are starting to see the fire. And the fire just become more blatant now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always been there.
Yeah.
Now just Satan showing his horn, showing his hand, and he's like,
what about the blessing of him being able to see the flames while others can't?
Yeah.
People walking around being burned and not knowing why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's not just like a in the nation thing, because there's people in the nation who don't understand. It's not there's no factors that allow you to be able to fully see it. It's just if you see it, you see it.
That's right.
And studying is a way that you can see it better.
Yeah.
If you're willing to study.
Yeah.
But hubris makes you think that you know it all.
And then failure to adhere to some semblance of discipline helps. It disables you from really earning the fruits of your study. Discipline keeps it in, bro. And we talked about discipline is really the key. Discipline is the master key to ascension.
Yeah.
You could talk, you could study, but if you don't have any semblance of discipline in regard to eating, what you do with your body, then
what you do with your mind,
what you do with your mind,
what you do with your spirit.
Yeah.
Because it's a loner. Your
Yep.
body and the mind are loners.
That's right.
The spirit is,
Yeah.
and you tarnish it
That's right.
with every act you do. Every time you eat some bullshit, you tell yourself that you're not worthy of good food.
Yeah.
You tarnish your spirit.
Yeah. And every time you take that whispering thoughts of your mind that are self-destructive, you
tarnish your spirit.
Yeah. So, anyway, tired now.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Unless you got anything closing bars to say.
Work on your spirit.
Feel you. Yeah, I think it's just settling into the long game, bro. I think that's where we are.
And learning how to take solace in the heaven that you're experiencing now.
Yeah.
Because if you don't stop to smell the flowers, you can be in heaven and not recognize it.
That's right. And even these podcasts and these moments, this own time we create, this is heaven for me. I'm like, oh yeah. And it just reminds me of like, oh bro, like no, I remember who I am, and this forum and this canvas is the opportunity to be God, create God, and form the foundation of a new kingdom. That is heaven.
I came to the realization that I might live in the hood, but I've already found home.
Yeah.
I know where home is, and it might not be, the land that we have now, but the land that we have now is a sample for me. And it's like, once I learn how to master that, I'll be able to move on to whatever's next, into the future of whatever it is that we create. Like, I mean, I don't want to go too far into my visions and whatnot, but I've had the vision of, we're gonna have a city, and it's not very far away.
Understood.
It's just a matter of the way that God created himself was duplicating atoms and duplicating atoms and duplicating atoms. So once we learn to master the atom and then we duplicate it, then we'll have.
It's funny when you said atoms, you were talking to me. It's like, man, yeah, making me. And I'm like, why did my mom name me Adam? That's what came to my mind.
Yeah, the building blocks. The
building blocks.
The cell structure.
Yeah, the building blocks. The sacrificial lambs. The building blocks. Just shut up and just go here. It's your job for this lifetime.
But you gotta be able to say it with a smile.
No, for real.
We're the sacrificial lambs.
No, just sacrificial lambs. Yeah. We're just little bricks in the kingdom, right? It's your lifetime. Go down. Here's your spot in the kingdom. Oh, you thought this kingdom? Oh no, this is 17 lifetimes. Maybe. Oh my god.
Because it could be this lifetime.
It could be.
It could be tomorrow.
It could be.
We're not here to make the assumption.
Nah, we shouldn't.
No, not at all. We just do the work.
Yeah.
When we start trying to make the assumption, then it's like, that's hubris. That's ego.
That's what we know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
None know.
Nah.
We just do the work.
That's just work.
And be grateful for the what he gives us.
Yeah.
Because he gives us a lot of joy in the midst of pain.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is joy. We hold that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have it. They hear the information, but it goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
We are actually able to hear the information and conceptualize it. That's a beautiful thing to be able to do.
Conceptualize it and then apply the fruit of it. Yeah.
That takes away our fear.
Yeah.
That gives us bearing.
Yeah.
In a world where everybody around you is lost, to have bearing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. It's your salvation. It's our salvation.
So I don't have the same anxieties and grief that I had at one time because I was lost and didn't understand. I'm not saying that I know it all, but I know enough that gives me solace. And I find peace in that, and I'm happy with it. And whatever Allah decides to download onto me, there's more of that. All praise is due to Allah.
All praise is due to Allah. Yeah. Trying to think of any last downloads that I've had recent. No, just Allah is just showing me hell, so we could prepare me for the hereafter. Like, hey man, that's what it is. And it's the way of ascent. It's like you got to get through it. The only way out is through it.
Yeah.
And we all have the hell of our own bad decisions to really grapple and deal with. You know, it's not a bad or good thing. It's just what it is.
And the heaven of the fact that we're not in those decisions anymore.
No.
We've seen the wisdom and the light, and we're making better decisions now.
That's real.
Because we could very well be caught up in that hell right now.
That's right.
It's a lot of people that are caught up in that hell.
Yeah.
They can't see a better decision.
Yes, sir.
So
that's me sometimes. No, it's easy to get caught up, man.
Yeah.
Easy to get caught up.
It is. But, you have the ability to see the light. Keep following the light. You won't have the problem of being trapped in the darkness.
That's right.
It's when you lose sight of the light that you have the problems.
That's right. Yeah, and I will say, like, there have been, like, especially after the Sacramento trip, like, the smoke was so heavy. It's like, man, I was like, where's the light at? Damn. But Allah was like, hey, man, like, you bit off a big piece. That was a big step forward.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what comes with it.
When we said we was challenging the bull, we said we wanted the smoke. Why say we want the smoke?
Then when it comes, cry about
the smoke.
Can't. Bitch about not seeing the light. Yeah, nigga, you covered the smoke because you asked for it, bro.
And you've always known that you can't fathom the depths of Satan. You've known that from the beginning. You know you dealing with a monster.
He's a savage, bro. He is. Oh my God. He is, bro. He is. Woo.
And you've always known that he don't fight fair
at all.
He ain't coming in the straight and narrow path.
Sir. He's like, let's nice clean fight. 12 rounds? Hell no, bro.
It ain't no rules to the way he gonna come at you.
I'm gonna blow up the fucking stadium.
I was just watching 19 Keys and Shaka Bars, and Shaka Bars was talking about how let's be clear, COINTELPRO still exists. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, why did we think that COINTELPRO is a thing of the past? COINTELPRO is very much alive.
Putting in work.
They are stopping Black Messiah.
Oh, facts. Active, putting in work. Yeah. Starting Black Messiah, anyone that looks like Black Messiah, nah, bro. And just like what I have been in the nation for 5 years, what I see, like, the game isn't to stop the nation. The game is to keep it off to the side.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's like, no, just stay over here to where you can't really connect with your people.
It is make evil so fair seeming.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Yeah.
It's like, as long as evil is more comfortable and more convenient than the truth, people are going to choose evil.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, oh, evil is easier? Yeah. Evil is, a white lie? I'll take the white lie over the hard truth.
Yeah. And just to give some game, based on what I've seen in my knowledge, is like, Satan works with Black organizations to make them irrelevant to the culture.
Yeah.
The Black organizations are actually that are talking sovereignty, land, and nationhood. That's the dangerous talk. And economic independence, that type of stuff. The agents that they put in these organizations, they're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
And their objective is not to be a bad guy. Their objective is to be an upstanding soldier or citizen of that particular organization, but veer it in a direction that's more in line in Satan's path. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be like necessarily disruptive. It's like, no, they're going to be the best soldier they can, but they're going to portray an image that the devil wants them to do. You're going to be an upstanding soldier, but you're going to be this image, this archetype. You're gonna be what I make of you so that the people that you claim to want to serve see you in a certain light and will be off put.
And the way
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And the way that they're going to be able to do that in the future is so diabolical
Yeah.
because we all rely on our phones for information.
Yeah.
And they get to now determine what information to feed us.
Yeah.
They tell us it's the algorithm, so it's based on what we already care about.
Yeah.
But they literally get to control the direction that we think.
Yeah.
So they don't have to send in agents with the express purpose of being an agent anymore.
Nah.
They just got to make you slowly into an agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come in and do it all on your own.
That's right.
They don't have to create rappers by telling them rap about this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now they just make it so that this is where the money's at.
Yeah.
And so the rappers are like, all right,
yeah,
shaking that ass.
Yeah,
and-
they doing the devil's bidding.
Yeah.
The devil incentivizes them.
Yeah.
It's a cold game, bro. It's very. This is like the depths of Satan. He's like you said. This is not. This is straight to you.
This is the depths that we can see.
Yeah, so we could see.
There's unfathomable depths.
I'm saying, bro, and he's very good at what he does,
Ooh.
and he's messing with us at all dimensions.
He has files upon files of all of his works dating back for 6,000 years.
No, for real.
All the way back to the genetics of his creation.
Yeah.
We barely have files from slavery.
Nah, bro, for real.
We don't have files from our great-grandparents.
Nah, bro, facts.
We barely have any information on our grandparents.
Facts, bro. Not.
We don't got nothing.
He got that.
Every one of our generations starts over from scratch. And he has designed it that way.
Yeah. He's gonna keep it that way.
What you got? Your parents' information is all secret to you until they die. You don't know nothing about them.
Don't go to nothing, bro. So it's that's we're born in his world.
Yeah.
And that's just home field advantage.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Home field advantage. And we are in Raider Stadium is the Raiders' worst enemy. Got shitty locker rooms, got nothing. Like we guess we'll let y'all play ball, but we ain't gotta be a fair game, bro.
All we got is God.
That's it.
And as
Bro,
soon
that's it.
As soon as we recognize that all we got is
That's
God,
it.
then we become powerful.
That's it.
But we still trying to figure out how we could get access to their locker room.
For real.
We want to play on their terms and try to figure out how to play their game better than them. Come on now.
Yeah, man.
With a 6,000 year head start.
Yeah, man. That's so that's something I have to reckon with. It's like because I'm in there. We in their world.
No, for sure. But you're not gonna out devil a devil.
Nah, bro. You
You're not
shouldn't
gonna.
try.
That ain't your game.
No, sir.
Play your game.
God.
Play to your strengths.
God. Righteousness.
Nature.
Nature. Islam.
If it ain't talking about separation, what is it talking about?
Maintaining, powering Satan's world with your energy.
Yeah.
That's what it is, bro.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what it is, bro.
You helping the enemy.
Yeah, facts. And you a damn good battery. You the best battery.
That part. He loves it.
Yes,
Every drop of energy you give him.
Yeah. And so I'm more cognizant of the energy I give his world.
Yeah. And the separation ain't necessarily physical. The separation is more mental than anything.
Yeah.
You are already separated spiritually, so it's mental. Mental is what we got to worry about being separated.
Let's close it out.
Let's close it out.
You can close it out, bro.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Rahmanirrahim. Malik Yawmadin Iyaka Abudu wa Iyaka Nasta'in. Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim. Siratal Ladina An'amta Alaihim. Galil Magdubi Alaihim Waladali. O Allah, we beseech your help and ask your mercy. We believe in you and trust in you for all that we need. We are helpers in your cause, and with your apostle, please grant to us success. Thank you, Allah. We cannot thank you enough. Amin.
Thank you, Allah. Guide us on the path to victory. Help us usher in thy kingdom. On your terms, on your time. We love and serve you alone. Amin.
Amin.